Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Anthony Sequeira here. As you can tell from my accent, I'm getting ready to drive up to Maine from Massachusetts. Oh, actually, back up the truck. I'm flying from Tampa to Massachusetts, where I am from. Once in Massachusetts, I'm going to drive deep into Maine in order to teach at a college up there. A couple of guest lectures for their wonderful students. I'm so excited. I'm going to stop by Stephen King's house on the way, see if I can say hello to him. Although this time of year, he's probably in Florida. Yeah, his winter home. All right, anyways, I got an email from the wonderful people at Boson. There is an ExSim-Max for the AWS CLFC01 exam. That's the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. I've got to check this out because I wrote a book on that very subject. And obviously I passed the exam myself. So notice what I've done is I've downloaded this complimentary Boson exam environment, and then I've gone in there to this tab that says Get Demos. So that's all you got to do is download your exam environment, and then you can grab the demo right in the exam environment product. That's pretty cool. By the way, I am running this on my MacBook Pro, and it is in a Windows virtual environment. So that's how you can obviously deal with that when you have Windows apps that you want to run on your Mac. Of course, download success. Yay, let's start the demo. And what do I want to do? I want to do study mode so we can see the answers and stuff. We're going to get 4 questions, and here we go. This is really funny. I wrote a book on this. If I don't pass this, I'm going to be quite embarrassed. Let me move this environment so you can see it. Here we go. What I'm doing, by the way, I'm a little off kilter tonight, but obviously, the whole point of this video is I wanted to demo this with you all, and let's see how great these questions are. Your company has an Amazon Web Services account. You plan to implement an application named App One in accordance with the design for failure principle. Which of the following should you do? All right, first of all, I'm going to tell you right off the bat that this is exactly the style of question that we would see in an AWS exam. This one or any of them. They always tend to be scenario based, you're doing this with this, what do you got to do? All right, so ensure the App One's components span 2 availability zones, ensure that all of App One's components run on a cluster, ensure that App One is hosted on a highly available infrastructure, ensure that App One is hosted on a fault tolerant infrastructure. Well, what do we have to do? This is, AWS is highly available and fault tolerant with their infrastructures. Clustering is a possibility in AWS, but I think that's a little bit of overkill here. I like the idea of having components span availability zones. That seems like something that we would configure that could help design for failure. So we'll go with that one and choose next. By the way, let's go back, because in this little fun study mode, I can show the answer. Woohoo, we got it right. And there is, oh, wow. Wow. Good job, Boson. A lengthy explanation. That's cool. I love this, the reference document from Amazon Web Services, a wiki, and a Microsoft link. That's funny. Boson didn't realize it, but they did a little zing there to Amazon Web Services, I guess, by having the Microsoft link. But this is cool. This is talking about reliability and cloud, and it just so happens to be, I'm sure the examples would involve Azure there, but that's fine and good. Your company has an Amazon Web Services account. Your company's security guidelines require that all data stored in AWS be encrypted. Which of the following statements are true? And this is a choose all that are correct to make it a little more tough. Client-side encryption protects data in transit. Client-side encryption, of course, we know is to protect data at rest. Server-side encryption is always AWS's responsibility. Well, that one's debatable. Let me keep reading here. Both client-side and server-side encryption are encryption at rest. I like it. Client-side encryption is always the customer's responsibility, and server-side encryption protects the data in transit. You know, I'm going to say the two best choices here, and this is a really tough one because it's choose all that are correct. I don't know what the author was thinking about here on server-side encryption is always AWS's responsibility. They may think that's true, but I would argue that. And the reason being, we can take advantage of server-side encryption with AWS, but we can go ahead and provide the keying material. So therefore, we would be responsible, just like AWS, for the encryption. Let's see if it's C and D. That's, I think, the two best answers. Whoa. So client-side encryption protects data in transit. And absolutely true. Oh my gosh, that's so clever. So yeah, and I'm sure this is explained in the explanation. I just didn't give this enough thought. But client-side encryption, we're going to encrypt the information on the client side, and then when sending it to AWS, it's going to be in its encrypted form. We're getting like double the bang for our buck, aren't we? We have the TSL that is protecting it in transit, and then we have encrypted it ourselves on the client side. So, man, that is an awesome question, and I did not think deeply enough. Your company has an AWS account, you're planning to implement a new application, and you're considering the concept of elasticity. Boing. Which of the following most accurately defines elasticity? Any AWS service that supports auto-scaling? That's pretty good, but always in the exam environment, keep on reading. Any AWS service whose name includes the word elastic, I love it. A system that can be decommissioned very quickly, a system that can adapt to the level of its workload. Yeah, I think it's a system that can adapt to the level of its workload. I think that's the best answer. Yeah, and it is. I paused there for a second, wanting to make sure that that really incorporated demand, right? Because that's the big thing with elasticity in cloud. We're setting up solutions and we want them to grow or shrink based on demand for those resources, and that obviously would lump into workload. Well, one more. Let's see if I can get 3 out of 4. And in my book, that's a pass. Your company's considering the possibility of transitioning some of its compute infrastructure to AWS. Which of the following changes will most likely occur on your on-premise network? Select the best answer. All client computers will be replaced with virtual machines. The on-prem servers will be moved to an AWS data center. Local server workloads will be moved to AWS virtual machines. All physical servers will be replaced with virtual machines. Okay. Well, first of all, we aren't going to be like ripping and replacing in our environment. So D's out. Local server workloads will be moved to AWS virtual machines. That certainly seems like it could be correct, right? The on-prem servers will be moved. No, I see what it's saying there. They're talking about like the physical servers. We're not going to truck those up to AWS. That's not how it works. And then A, all client computers will be replaced with virtual machines. No, we're typically leaving the client systems in place. And if we were going to replace our local client systems, we'd do like a virtual desktop situation. So it wouldn't be a virtual machine in reality that was replacing them. So I really like that the workloads we have on our local servers will be moved up to the cloud. And boom, 3 out of 4, baby. Love it. That is a great product. I'm going to just tell you right now. My totally unbiased opinion. These questions rock, and obviously the testing engine rocks, and I can even make notes. This rocks. Yeah, that's awesome. What's this, the title? All right, So there you go. How do I get out of this? Why did I do this? I don't need a note. Save. Close. There we go. Hey, look at, there's my note. Oh yeah, baby. Animation. All right. I got to get back to some real serious work, and I probably also need to stop being so silly. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration of the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner practice exam available for us, multiple practice exams available for us up at Boson. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.